the moment. Yeah, the crowds haven't been allowed in, and things have changed a little bit. But it's been, my experience, it's been an incredible success here. To be able to be a part of the first PSL being wholly and solely here in Pakistan has been very special to be a part of. You know, all the grounds that we went to, the crowds throughout were just absolutely phenomenal. So it's been really special to be a part of it here. From our point of view, I think just across the board we were off at times. Yeah, and there's world-class players playing this tournament. So if you're slightly off as a team or individuals, then you get exposed. And with overseas, like I'd scored runs tonight, but it would have been better if I scored them through the middle of the tournament at the start when we really needed to be able to get ourselves and keep ourselves up the top of the ladder. So, but it wasn't meant to be, unfortunately. I was trying as hard as I always do, but it just wasn't working out. So, but in the end, we've got a fairly young bowling lineup in a way. So it's been a great experience for them, and batting, just to be able to find the right combination, find the right the batting lineup. It's a great challenge for us, and unfortunately we didn't get it. Things just didn't come together perfectly throughout the tournament, but yeah, it's been a great learning experience for the franchise.
Shane, you have played almost 5 seasons, and you have seen that many of the Pakistan players become a star in this Pakistan side. Which of the batsmen inspired you, and what you think, why Pakistani batsmen are not aggressive as much as foreign players are?
Look, I think the one thing is there's no question about playing here in the Pakistan Super League. The playing against the fast bowlers in particular and the bowlers is as challenging as anywhere around the world. Every team has at least 2 guys who are bowling 150 Ks. So and that's got great skills. So it's a big challenge, and which is great. And it's a reason why the players, the local players and the overseas players love playing here, and for the fans watching it at home. It's a great great competition and great battles that are going on every game. Look, there's no doubt that different times through different periods and eras of different countries, for Australia, for example, sometimes you just go through a stage where there's not as many big hitters, for example. And at the moment, there's quality players, world-class batters, as we see Babar Azam, the way he continues to bat. It is very low risk with what he does, but he scores a lot of T20 runs, and that's one of the reasons why he's such a world-class batsman. So, and there's plenty of power going around, even with Azam Khan, to see what he did as a young guy coming into the PSL. Some of the innings that he played were pretty phenomenal. So, look, the more exposure that the young batsmen get to this tournament, the better they're gonna get.
Sure. Shane, was it your today last game, and you have played all around the world? Where you get more love? I mean, the spectators love, the fan loves. If you compare the Pakistani spectators loves with other nations love, those who loves you.
Yeah, look, I'm very fortunate that there's no question. I've always had all around the world when I've met Pakistani people in general, they've always been incredibly kind and supportive of me. I suppose from an international point of view, I played a lot of cricket against Pakistan as well. So and had some of my good days playing against Pakistan. So look, it has been amazing to be able to come here last season for the week of the finals, and now for the whole PSL. It's been very special to be able to feel the love and support that I've got here. It's very special, and that's why it's one of the reasons why I've had such an awesome time here. Look, I'm not exactly sure. I still absolutely love playing. There's no question. I love being able to be around teams and help out as much as I can and contribute on the field. So, but I'm 38. I'm 39 coming up. So it's working through what my next phase of my life's going to be. But at the moment, I still love playing. But it'll come down to more a family decision and being away from home more so than my ability to be able to perform.
Shane, if we talk about Quetta's itinerary and performance, I mean, do you think too much hectic travelling has affected the performance of Quetta Gladiators?
Look, from my perspective, no. I've travelled in a lot of different tournaments where you're travelling all the time. International cricket, you're travelling all the time as well. So from my point of view, it didn't affect I know from I'm only batting right now, but there's so many times where I was an all-rounder and I was travelling a lot. Look, for guys who haven't done it before, it is challenging. It is challenging, and it was for guys who, when the flights sort of got changed or flights got delayed and that sort of thing. So it definitely provided different challenges, but in that way, that the great thing is they were able to learn from what happened and how to be able to manage themselves better from their bodies, from their mind, from sleep and that sort of thing. So look, unless you get exposed to a travel schedule like we had, you don't learn about how to be able to manage it, because if you go and play international cricket or you go and play in other tournaments, that stuff happens. So you just got to learn how to be able to manage it as well as you possibly can.
Shane, around the globe, lots of sports activities going to close by the corona. Do you give me some credit, Pakistan government or PCB, to going to the PSL for completion?
Look, I'm not a government official. I'm not a politician. So look, the thing that I love is that we have an opportunity to be able to play, as much as we can, and it is. I feel it's a safe environment, as in no, the crowds not being here, and the PCB are doing everything they can in alignment with what the government's saying as well. So yeah, it's unprecedented in a way that's in my life anyway, what's going on in the world. So, but for me, it's a pleasure to be able to continue to play cricket and play cricket in a great tournament. So I've had a great experience, and that's the reason why I'm not letting a coronavirus or a flu. I know it's not great, and there's obviously there's people that are passing away because of it, but I just love playing, so I'm going to take it on.
Last two questions. Watson, it wasn't less than a nightmare for you guys, because you were defending champions, and now you are nowhere in this tournament, and you have ended on a very low par. So your owner discussed something about a lot of traveling was there. That's why your team wasn't able to perform up to the mark. And second thing I want to ask, that foreign players went back to their home countries, but at the same time your statement came out that if Pakistani players can play, so why not we? So answer these questions.
Okay. The first one, look, as I said before, around the travel. Yeah, the travel was challenging, and it has been a big learning curve for everyone on how to deal with it as well as they can. Compared to last year, we had just a few more. The balance of our team was different from last year, and as soon as even one player is different, the dynamic of the team and where people play in their roles change straight away. And sometimes you're able to get those roles and positions locked in straight away. But other teams, like I've had in the past, I've won tournaments, and then the next year it hasn't gone to plan as well, because a couple of personnel shifts that have moved on, and you're trying to find the right balance again. And unfortunately, we weren't able to really find the right roles, and it's been a huge learning curve for everyone involved. That you don't always win, you don't always make the finals, and if the playing group changes, which it does with the draft and how the retention and that sort of thing, it's going to happen, and you just got to work through it as best you can to be able to try and fulfil the roles that are required in T20 cricket. And the second question in and around the players, look, everyone's got their own decision and their own things going on in their life and their families and that sort of thing. So look, it's definitely not my place to judge it all. I can only talk from my experience, and I don't want to. This is an amazing opportunity that I have to be able to play in such a great tournament, and I love playing. And if I get the flu, the coronavirus, I get the flu, and I'm going home. I'm going to be 14 days relaxing in my house, which is absolutely fine. It's part and parcel of travelling and playing and doing what I absolutely love doing. So for me, it was a no-brainer.
Last question, Imad.
Shane, here. So,
the man.
Yeah, the catcher, right?
How's your hand?
Thank you so much. Brilliant, buddy. Intact.
Yeah, good job. What a catch.
Thank you. So, since there was a question about you having played a lot of cricket, just a small trip down the memory lane, something that I wanted to ask you, but forget asking, but just want to take this opportunity now. A young Shane Watson, 2000-2001, Brisbane facing Shoaib Akhtar. There's that one delivery, which is, I think, part of the YouTube folklore, one bounce bouncer. Was that the quickest that you ever faced in your career? How do you recall that spell in that particular delivery?
I do. That was the first time. Like, I'd faced Brett Lee before, but that was the first time in a game that I'd gone out. And as I remember walking out to bat, it was my 21st birthday. 17th of June, was it 2002? 2002, yeah. Walking out to bat on my 21st birthday thinking, I'm on national TV, there's a good chance and I'm going to, I could die. Shoaib was bowling super fast. He bowled one to Damien Martin in the, previous sort of, a few overs before. Again, same, just back of a length that went over Moen's head and hit the fence nearly on the full. And then about the first ball that he bowled to me, I let go. I was just about, if it was on the stumps, I would have let it go. I got bowled. Thank God it wasn't on the stumps. And then, yeah, about 3 balls in, yeah, it's incredibly fast. And the ball was reversing as well. So, that's, I suppose, it's very fortunate to be able to play in certain times, and that was a time that I'll always remember. That, yeah, Shoaib, that was as freaked out as you can get to be able to face something like that. In the end, you look back and it's a privilege to be able to actually have a chance to be able to play against someone like him.